What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the channel. Week number 4, Thursday Night Football showdown breakdown here between the Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals. Arizona coming off a tough loss to the Niners there. I thought they had that game. Cardinals been playing good, especially defensively. They look really good. They need a little bit more out of their offense. And Seattle absolutely destroying the New Orleans Saints, which we kind of expected. So we got a nice NFC West battle here on Thursday night. Both these teams, obviously, right there in the mix early on in the season here. This is an important NFC West showdown game. If you do enjoy this content, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hit that bell so you notify anytime I do drop content. If you can hit this video what they'd like, I really appreciate it as well. Let's start it off here. Seattle Seahawks. We're going to go team by team right here. And, of course, JSN. I mean, what a season this guy is having. Obviously, DK Metcalf is gone. Tyler Lockett gone. They bring in Cooper Kupp, but JSN has been the alpha here. 3 games so far, pretty much at 100 yards. For week 1, 124 yards on 9 catches. Then week 2, 103 yards on 8 catches. Last week, kind of a down week for him, but he did get in the end zone, which he hasn't done yet. So JSN, man, has been an alpha, an absolute stud, one of the best fantasy receivers. And you got the Cardinals here who are playing good defensively, but there's not a guy on the Cardinals that can really, defend JSN here for the Seahawks. So JSN, you want to try to get in as many lineups as you can. I like him at the captain spot in tournaments. In cash games, I'm trying to get him in my flex spot as much as I can. Obviously, I think he's relatively safe even for a receiver. Then you got Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. I do believe that Zach Charbonnet will be back this week. So, of course, that is going to limit Kenneth Walker a little bit. Obviously 2 touchdowns on the ground last week, got a nice workload. We saw George Holani mix in as well. He had 10 carries in that blowout. The issue for me is Zach Charbonnet is really good. And he's a really good piece of the offense, and they really do use a committee approach. So I think the price tag on KW3 Kenneth Walker is a little bit higher than I'd like to pay based on what we're going to see with Charbonnet. Now, Charbonnet's price is really nice, and I will have some exposure to him in all formats. So for me, Kenneth Walker, I think he's a good tournament option because, this guy's explosive. He can always break something. But I think it's large field only for me, even in small field. I don't know if I'll have the rushing outputs. I've been starting to do my own projections a little bit as well. So once I kind of master that, I might have those available for you guys to get as well. But for now, I think I'm going to have a little bit of a dock on Kenneth Walker's rushing. So I don't think he's going to be able to pay off this salary. Like I said, tournaments, he's explosive. He can pay off this salary and, has that upside. But as far as like smaller field cash games, I think it's a no early on in the week for me. This is a quick timeout to let you guys know that I've been a pro DFS player for over 5 years and have over $100,000 in career winnings. And now I'm giving away all my secrets, which you can check out at patreon.com/tdavisbrand. The link is also in the description below. It's going to give you a cheat sheet for every major slate of the NFL season. So Thursday Night Football, Sunday main slate, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, all the major slates, whether it be Showdown or the regular classic slates, you'll have access to my cheat sheet, as well as access to my private Discord where you can ask me anything fantasy football related. And I also have a NFL DFS ebook, How to Win at Daily Fantasy Football. It goes over every strategy you would want to win some cold hard cash this upcoming NFL season. We talk about things like bankroll management, contest selection, how to win GPPs, cash games, etc. So you can check that out at my Patreon shop as well. Sam Darnold, of course. Dude's been solid for the Seahawks here. You know what we're going to get out of him. And the system that they're running, they want to run the ball with Mike McDonald there from the Ravens. They want to run the ball and go play action. They got fullbacks out there. They got extra tight ends out there. A lot of heavy personnel. But Darnold's been fine. He's obviously a great source of projection here. Really safe source, cash game, small field. I don't think I'll go with him at the captain spot. I don't think the upside is there. I'd definitely prefer a guy like JSN for only 1,000 more. But I think he is viable in the flex spot for sure. Cooper Kupp, who, I think he's been pretty good. A lot of people said, is this guy falling off? And a little bit, of course. He's getting older. He's banged up. A lot of injuries throughout his career. But he's been okay as the number 2 receiver here for the Seahawks. He's fine. I think the price tag's a little bit higher. I actually prefer to look at Torrey Horton here for the upside, who really seems to be coming along and kind of exploding as that 3rd receiver for them. Has major, major upside. So Torrey Horton, for me, would be my favorite GBP option, more than Cooper Kupp, in my opinion. I mentioned Zach Charbonnet. I love him here. 5,400 is a great price tag. Like I said, it's a full-blown committee between him and Walker. Now, they may ease Charbonnet in a little bit coming off that injury, but I think at 5,400, that's a nice salary here for a guy that has upside. Jason Myers, of course, the kickers are always in play for a nice source of value. Myers is a really good kicker, too, by the way. And, inside in Arizona, I think he's a great source of projection here. I actually do like both the Seahawks and Cardinals defense here. I will have interest in both of them in tournaments. Cash games, I don't know if I'll go there as much. I prefer if the Seahawks were at home. They might be in my cash game consideration. But on the road here in Arizona, they're definitely in play. Not sure I'll get there in cash games. Then you have A.J. Barner, you have Elijah Arroyo. They mix in Saubert and Oots as like these fullback / tight end blocking guys. Barner's been the guy playing the most snaps. I don't think he has like the receiving upside, but Arroyo here is a little bit banged up. We got to monitor the injury status. If he were to be out, A.J. Barner becomes an amazing value at only 2,800. I still think he's a pretty good value at 2,800, but if Arroyo were some reason out, or even one of these other tight ends that they use, or fullbacks in Oots or Saubert, Barner's going to play like almost 100% of the snaps. So I think he's still a good value here at 2,800. I don't love him as like an upside play in tournaments as much, but he's really safe in kind of some smaller field stuff. And then, like I said, if Arroyo was out, he'd be a stud. If Arroyo plays, he's obviously interesting here. The snap share is limited, but he is the pass catching tight end out of the two, and he has a little bit of upside at only 800. So we got to monitor that injury status for sure. Then you got guys like Jake Bobo, Derek Young. They'll kind of rotate in and out as like that fourth receiver here, so they'll get some snaps. If you're playing them, I'd definitely set a rule where I max one of Young and Bobo, but it'd be very limited the amount of exposure I'd have to them. You're just hoping for like one catch and one red zone touchdown or something where they pay off their salary, which definitely is possible, but I think for me it's more large field tournaments. Halani's not going to play much with Charbonnet back, so I'm going to X him out of my player pool. If Arroyo were out, you could look at maybe Saubert as that backup tight end to get you a catch or two for only $600. There is not the worst thing in the world. Let's go to the Arizona Cardinals here. Kyler Murray, of course, starting it off here as the highest priced. He's been okay to start. Just the upside isn't really there. We haven't seen him rushing like we know he can. 30 yards per game is fine. It's solid. But, we want to see Murray get to like a 50 to 70 yard rushing upside, maybe run for a touchdown or two. And we just haven't seen that yet. No rushing touchdowns on the year. The passing upside just isn't there. Now, I will say with James Conner, man, tough injury to see from James Conner. Maybe they lean to the passing game a little bit more there. So Kyler Murray, of course, is a safe option, just like Darnold. I prefer Murray a little bit more than Darnold. I don't think I'll play him captain, though. I think I'm just going to keep him in the flex. I like these pass catchers at captain, and I like my man Trey Benson, who we'll get to in a second. But, of course, Trey McBride. Is this guy ever going to find touchdowns? He finally got his first touchdown last week, but it feels like this guy can just never cash in these touchdowns. He finally does. But this dude's a stud, man. The best tight end in football. Him and Brock Bowers, battling it out. But this guy gets it done. Kyler Murray, it's his favorite target. Trey McBride all day long. Try to get him in every format you can. Now you got Trey Benson here with James Conner banged up out for the year. Looks like, thoughts with James Conner, man. It's a tough injury to see. I think Trey Benson is a stud. I think he's going to be really productive here in this offense. They do have DeMarcado here as that backup running back. He didn't look too good to me in the game we played last week when Connor got hurt. He came in, he dropped some passes. DeMarcado's fine as like a source of value here. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but I think this is the Trey Benson show, and I'm going to be locking and loading Trey Benson in all formats. I'm trying to pick him up on the waiver wire and season long. I think this is the Trey Benson show. Price tag is not too bad as well. Marvin Harrison, are we ever going to see this guy reach his full upside? Week 1, we thought we might see it, 5 catches, 70 yards, a touchdown. Looked pretty good, but it's just so up and down with him. I do think he's fine on this slate here. Seattle has some big corners, so the matchup is a little bit tough in my opinion. Seattle's defense, I think, is really good. So it's a little bit tough. I definitely prefer McBride and Benson over Harrison, but of course he's definitely in the mix here as his number 2 option for Kyler Murray. Chad Ryland, same thing, good kicker here. Same with the Cardinals. Him and Myers are fine for some great source of value. I do like the Cardinals defense a good bit. They've been pretty good here. Price tag's not too bad. Like I said, I will be playing both the Seahawks and Cardinals defense a good bit. DeMarcado, I'm not in love with here at 3,800. If he was like 2,800 and cheaper, I'd be on board as the backup. He'll probably mix in for some passing downs. I don't know. I just never been super impressed with his talent, so I think I'm going to shy away for the most part. Michael Wilson, I like this price tag, 3,400 here. We haven't really seen that upside, only 3 catches on the year, but he's going to play a bunch of snaps. He's going to be out there a bunch, and if they somehow start trailing, they're losing to the Seahawks, they got to pass from behind. Michael Wilson can be that guy. Greg Dortch, we saw, he rotates in and out, really low A-dot type stuff, bubble screens, jet sweeps, underneath stuff like that. Not really major upside, but he should get out there for some snaps, especially if, say, Jones is banged up. that'll be something to monitor. He is in the concussion protocol. If Zay Jones would be out, that would open up more Greg Dortch. It'll also open up one of these other tight ends. You got Elijah Higgins, who's more of the pass catcher, and you got Tip Ryman, who's more of the blocker, but he will, be out there for some snaps. So if you get no Zay Jones, I think you could see more 2 tight end sets with Ryman and Higgins. I'd probably set a rule where I max one of them. Don't want to play them together in any of your lineups, but I do think they have some interesting potential here. If that were the case, then we'll see who's elevated with no Connor. Will it be Bam Knight? Will it be Michael Carter? We'll see who's elevated as that 3rd running back. They could play a little bit if DeMarcado struggles, which I think it could be the case. Something to monitor. And then, of course, if Zay Jones is out, watch who that 4th, 5th receiver would be elevated, whether it be Weaver, Bachelia, Fajoko. I think probably one of those guys would be in line to maybe play some snaps, but really, really thin. But I do think the Cardinals have the better value side here when you're looking at one of the backup tight ends, when you're looking at the backup running back, and one of these 3rd or 4th receivers that can rotate in and out, especially if there's an injury to Zay Jones. So that's it for Thursday night showdown slate. Should be a good game. I expect it to be relatively low scoring with these 2 good defenses. So I'll have my Patreon available, with the updated top plays. So make sure you check that link in the description below. Appreciate you guys, man. Keep watching. Give this video a like, and stay tuned for more on my channel. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and give this video a like. I appreciate it so much, as well as subscribe to the channel here on YouTube so you can check out all the videos that I have to offer.